making all these promises about how they're going to change your life and make it better. And then, as soon as he got into office, not only did he not keep any of the promises, but he went in the other direction and actually took jobs away from black people. Isn't that fascinating? In offices that traditionally hired blacks, the jobs were given to deserving white Democrats. Scores of blacks were summarily fired, so they fired lots of black people. Sounds like the presidency now, actually, because a lot of government jobs that were held by black people are now gone. Blacks were not allowed to compete economically. Throughout the South, abuse escalated, lynching skyrocketed. Blacks, as well as their crops, were burned. Their animal stock was poisoned, and kerosene doused their cotton. So this is why the reparations debate isn't a debate. There's no debate on reparations. Stop arguing. Stop playing with me. Stop arguing with me about reparations. You have no standing on this. The little power or voice that blacks had was stripped from them. All sorts of schemes kept them from voting or having their cries of pain heard. While his black supporters were being killed and abused, President Wilson failed to issue a single word in their defense. Like so many great white leaders before him, President Woodrow Wilson became just another great deceiver. Isn't that fascinating? How about that? Isn't that wonderful? How cool is that? Okay, all right. Woodrow Wilson. And at Princeton, they named their public policy school after Wilson. So if you are associated with Princeton, y'all got work to do. All right. All right, so a black spy in the Revolutionary War. Let's switch gears. In March 1781, James Armistead was granted permission, sorry, by his owner, William Armistead, to serve in the Continental Army and became one of the most important spies of the American Revolution. The information that James Armistead acquired aided his commander, Marquis de Lafayette, a Frenchman serving in the American Army, to defeat the British at Yorktown, Virginia on October 17, 1781. Lafayette became an immediate hero. Armistead returned to being a slave. Hmm. Although Lafayette wrote a letter urging for Armistead's freedom, it was not until 1786 that the Virginia General Assembly intervened and granted his freedom. Armistead later showed his appreciation for being freed from slavery by adopting the name of the famous Frenchman Marquis de Lafayette. All right. So this is a black hero at Bunker Hill. Although the black race was itself enslaved, free blacks fought and died to help America's white colonists win their freedom. Peter Salem of Framingham, Massachusetts, along with several other free black men, were among the Minutemen who launched the Revolutionary War at the Concord Bridge in April of 1775. A couple of months later, in June at Bunker Hill, Peter Salem fired the fatal shot that killed the British commander, Major Pitcairn. Salem continued his efforts to free the nation from British rule, fighting in the battles of Saratoga and Stony Point. Free blacks joined the revolutionary struggle to seek dual freedoms, first for the new nation, then for themselves and other members of the black race. They hoped that helping the white colonists win their freedom from British economic bondage would translate into freedom for the black race. Ha ha! Right, sucker. They helped to win America's independence, but black freedom did not come with the victory because you know they're not going to let go of their slaves. Blacks betrayed in the Revolutionary War. In November 1775, Lord Dunsmore, the British royal governor of Virginia, proclaimed that all slaves, quote, able and willing to bear arms, end quote, for the British would be liberated. The free blacks who followed Dunsmore were tricked. In fact, the British treated slaves as captured property, shipping a few of them to freedom in Canada, but most were reassigned into slavery in the British West Indies. Hmm. So they just lie. They just lie. But see, you don't know why I don't. That's why I don't trust. I don't trust none of these people say. So anyway, some were returned to the British colony of Sierra Leone in West Africa. A few escaped from bondage in the confusion of war and migrated to either Canada or Florida as free people. About 5,000 blacks served in the British Army and Navy in non-combat status. In the end, a British promise of freedom for all, in fact, was freedom for a very few. So you got your British cousins across the sea, and they can be racist too. I went to London in 2017 and I got detained and they kept me. It was, I guess I'm a dangerous Negro or something.